Where in Chatham County can you get a waterfront home?
Right. So, Chatham County is home to one of the biggest lakes in North Carolina, Jordan Lake Reservoir, and I think it's roughly 14,000 acres, and I think it's the sixth biggest freshwater lake reservoir in all of North Carolina. You can't build a house on that lake. It is a reservoir. It supplies water for the surrounding areas, and the best case scenario, there is the unicorn every now and then where you can actually see the lake through the trees. There are a few properties that back up to the Army Corps, and you can walk to the lake from your property, but there's nobody that's got a dock and their boat's right there and their house is right there on the lake. We don't have that Jordan Lake. One of the things when I was doing research on Jordan Lake, I found out it's the largest population of bald eagles on the East Coast. So I mean, it's a beautiful lake, and but when you go around it, I mean, I love it when the new people drive across 64 and cross Jordan Lake, and they see all those boats there, and they don't see a single house. And they call a real estate office, and I can't believe nobody's doing that. Well, there's a reason why nobody's doing that. But there are, and the same situation with Harris Lake. We share Harris Lake with the adjoining county, and that's in the kickstand below Moncure. That is the reserve reservoir for the reactor. But you can get a nice view of a big nuclear stack there, but you can't buy a house on Harris Lake either. So we do have the Sour City Reservoir, which is 145 acres. Not real big. I was always wondering, when does a pond become a lake, and when does a lake become a pond? And I went into Wikipedia, I went into the Department of Natural Resources and everything. There's no definition. Like some states say, well, 10 acres, some states say 20 acres, some states say if natural light goes to the bottom, it is a pond, but if natural light doesn't, so some people had it as a qualification of 20-foot depth. If it's more than 20 feet deep, then it's a lake and everything. Some people said if it's fed by rain or a spring, it's a pond. If it's fed by a perennial waterway or a river, then it's a lake. But there's no definition. I think in this area, I guess 145 acres is a lake, whatever. But we have 145 acres Sour City Reservoir. You can be on the water in the Sour City Reservoir, and there's some beautiful, beautiful properties there. But it's limited access to the lake, and you're not water skiing. You're not driving around in power boats. It's limited. Then we have some larger rivers. We have the Cape Fear, which is the right after the Deep and the Hall converge. Our southern boundary to the kickstand is Cape Fear. That is very, very wide. It's got some good depth in some places, but that is a significant waterway. Like I just said, the Hall and the Deep. The Deep, one of the guys I started the company with said he used to water ski up and down the Deep River. I cannot imagine anybody water skiing on the Deep River, but
it's too shallow.
Yeah, most of it. I guess it's not too bad of a name. I mean, in a lot of places, the Deep River, it is 4 to 6 feet deep, but that's real water skiing. That's like you got some talent if you can water ski up and down that. The Haw River has some really, really steep banks, so that that ideal. I'm going to build a house on the Haw River and have this beautiful view. I mean, we're talking like 100-foot drop, and there are like steep stairwells or ladders to get down to the Haw River, and you can every now and then we get the helicopter rescue where after a big rain somebody decides to kayak down the Haw River, but there's some areas that you can canoe and kayak, but there's a lot of portaging going on up and down the Haw. I mean, the depth drops immensely. We have the Rocky River, which Tim Sweeney of Epic Games, if you go on GIS, you see Chatham 130. That man owns a bunch of land up and down the Rocky River, and so because of that, really values have gone up. It's a rare thing. You could get the beautiful piece of property where you can see the water from your house on the Rocky River, but that gets really shallow, and it's named appropriately. The other ones we have are we got Brush Creek. That's beautiful. I've sold a lot of property on Brush Creek. That's considered one of the most pristine, least polluted waterways in all of North Carolina. That's in the western part of the county, and Sweeney's starting to buy some land on the Brush Creek as well. We got Bear Creek. That's a beautiful waterway, consistent year-round stream. That's southwest Chatham. Dry Creek. That's Silcope, Chapel Ridge area, North Chatham. Brooks Creek, Pittsboro, Guinness Creek between Pittsboro and Sanford. Wilkinson, Beaver, Miles Branch, Tick Creek, Flat Creek, Harlan's Creek. That's a nice one. That's a big feeder into the Rocky River. That's here in Pittsboro. I sold some property on that. Beautiful, beautiful stream. And Terrell's Creek. So it's not. We don't have that lakefront, and it's very, very rare to have riverfront with a water view in the background. But those are some of the opportunities for waterfront in Chatham